My name is Beatrice Mtetwa. I'm a human rights lawyer in Zimbabwe, and I do a lot of media work for journalists. Zimbabwe has some of the most restrictive media laws. The freedom to practice journalism is restricted severely, so from time to time journalists get into trouble with the authorities and they get criminally charged with various kinds of offenses. A lot of stories end up not being told because of the fear factor. So it's a very, very difficult operating environment for journalists and generally civil society activists. If you report something they don't like, you can be charged. For instance, we have publishing false statements which are prejudicial to the state. I mean, that could be anything, really, because who determines what's prejudicial to the state? People just become used to not having access to information because that has now become a culture. We need to do away with that culture of secrecy. I think everybody knows that, for any democratic dispensation, there has to be a free press, freedom of expression, etc. So it's absolutely crucial that those of us who practice law also see how you guys do your bit. It makes life a bit easier if I understand what you do. And when a journalist gets into trouble and I've been exposed to this kind of conference, it becomes a little easier for me to be able to really show that restrictive laws cannot possibly exist in a democracy. It's not really just an African thing. You've seen how the space has shrunk in Asia, even in the States, actually. I mean, with Donald Trump, you can see how everything he doesn't like is fake news. So, I mean, it's important for everybody to be exposed to each other, particularly in the investigative kind of journalism where you need to be nimble-footed. Investigative reporting is absolutely crucial, particularly in the developing world, because of the rampant corruption. I mean, even in sophisticated societies such as South Africa, where you have one of the grandest constitutions, you can see that a constitution on its own will not stop corruption. It will not stop the bad guys, guarding the hen house, literally. I'm an eternal optimist, so even when people think, oh, why are you doing this? I always do it anyway, because I think you can only know the result if you do something about it. And I get lucky a whole lot of times when if I hadn't tried, nothing would have happened.